All right, everyone. Thank you for joining our special Geula class. And we're doing this week Parshas Shoftim. Okay. We will take off exactly from where we started from last week. We're learning Parshas Shoftim Nun Aleph. And I'm going to do just the briefest review, so just to bring everybody up to par over here. This week in the Parsha we have a commandment of Shoftim v'Shoitrim Titan Lecha to appoint judges, and similar to that there is a prophecy when Mashiach will come that Hashem says V'Shiva Sheftayach. It's in Yeshaya Aleph Pasuk Chavav.
The recording has started.
So in Yeshaya Aleph in Pasuk Chavav, the Torah tells us there's a Navi, there's a prophecy that Hashem will bring back the judges like it was, v'yayetzayach, and your counselors kevatchila, like it was in the beginning. Every day in davening, we also daven to Hashem. It's one of the blessings, one of the 19 blessings of Shemoneh Esrei, one of the 19 primary tefillos. Actually, there's less, because 3 and 3 are not prayers, so there's 19 minus 6, only 13 prayers. And this is one of the tefillos that all the Jewish people daven for. Return our judges. So you see how important this is, that we have the true leaders and the true judges for the Jewish people. Now, over here, the Rebbe says that since we're so close to Mashiach, and that already we're living at the time of, we finished already all the work, we even finished the work of standing ready for Mashiach, it's understood that we're already holding already after the beginning of this prophecy, in order to understand that, what does it mean that we're already in that Zman, and that the prophets, the Shoftim and Yoyatzim are going to come back? He says we need better understanding and clarification in the idea of this Nevuah. And he asks 4 questions benegeya to the prophecy. And the questions were as follows. Number 1, in the Torah this week in the Parsha, it says Shoftim v'Shoitrim Titen Lecha. And when it comes to the prophecy and to the Tefillah, we omit Shoitrim. We don't ask for the Shoitrim to be returned, to be restored. Shoitrim are the law enforcement. But instead of them, we insert something else. We put in Yoyetzayach, which Yoyetzayach means your advisors. So we omit the Shoitrim, but we include the Yoyatzim in their place. The other things we need to understand, what are these two inyanim, Shoftim and Yoyatzim? And diuk number 3, question number 3, how come by the Shoftim it says Kobari Shaina, and by the Yoyatzim it says Kebat Chila? What's the difference? Of, besides for the sake of linguistics, why would it use over here Kobari Shaina like at first, and over here Kebat Chila like at the beginning? And the 4th question was, what is the diuk Sheftayich Yoyetzayich? It should have said Shoftim and Shoitrim like it says in the Parsha. Well, again, if we don't use the word Shoitrim, fine. So Shoftim v'Yoyatzim. How come in the Tefillah and also in the prophets, in the Nevuah, about the restoration of this? It emphasizes your Shoftim and your Yoyatzim. So to understand this, he says, very simple. The reason why we omit the idea of Shoitrim in the Parsha, in the Nevuah, is because Shoitrim is not a essential element of this mitzvah. The essential element of the mitzvah is that we should have people who can give us the law of God, who can give us the divine law, give us Hashem's commandment, hand it to us the instructions of how to live. Now, obviously the point of having these judges and these people telling us the way to live is not just as good ideas, but that this should be the law of the Jewish people, that the Jewish people should comply with these laws. We should live in accordance to this higher law. Now, in order to live according to the law, so Bisman Hazen nowadays, as long as we still have Yetzer Hara, so we sometimes a person doesn't like the law because the law doesn't fit exactly with their agenda, with the way their comforts and so on and so forth. So you need to have law enforcement to make sure that what the law, that which the judge had said that the law is, in order to bring it down to compliance. But we understand that once when Mashiach comes, we won't have any more Yetzer Hara. So then we won't have even inclination. So automatically when a shofet will say something, it will get done. And that's the reason why also he said that in the Parsha, we don't call the name of the Parsha Shoftim v'Shoitrim. Because Shoitrim is a necessity for the Shoftim, but the main thing over here is the Shoftim. if we can get our way without the shoiter, without the police, we do better without him. No one needs them, essentially. Okay. Based on that, he says, we can understand why instead of the shoftim, we speak about yoyatzim. Because in order that we should be able to do, that we should be able to follow through and have the full actualization of the mitzvah of shoftim, that we should know what is the Eibishter's will, what are the law, what is God's law in the world, and we should make sure that we should all fulfill that law. We need to have yoyatzim to help us achieve that. What is it? And we'll see in a minute why, but we need to have yoyatzim to do that. Even though we don't have Yetzer Hara, because it's possible for us that everybody will listen to what the shofet says, but it's going to be lacking in their listening. So even though b'poyel mamish, in the literal sense, we're doing it, we're not really doing it. And secretly, in a certain place, there is resistance, or definitely a lack of inspiration and a lack of excitement, and therefore the what needs to be done does not get done in a wholesome manner, because a part of the person is not engaged. For that reason, we need to also have yoyatzim. Yoyatzim help that the shoftim should be able to fulfill their job. So the very reason why we take out shoitrim, because we don't want to compel and we don't want to have to force it, or we want it to be done completely from the people, that they should really do it, and they should do it because they want to do it. For that, you also need to have yoyatzim. And the idea is, because what's the difference between a shofet and a yoyetz? A shofet is the one who gives you the law as it is. The yoyetz is someone who advises you. In other words, someone who can counsel you and make you feel how this law is for your benefit. The shofet is not concerned with the individual. The shofet is handing down the ideal way of living, the way God instructed us, the way Hashem instructed us to live. He's not dealing with an individual, each and every single one of us, how we feel about it. The shofet is trying to be matamim. He wants to make it tasty. He wants to make it in a way that you as an individual can experience how this is the best way to live. So the shofet is much closer to you. He's someone you turn to for advice. Okay. And he said that each one has a mila. The mila of the shofet is that he's speaking from a much higher place. He's giving you absolute truth. If you're just going to a counselor who is close to you, obviously if he's a counselor of yours, means he's someone that you can relate to him, he can relate to you. So he's kind of on your level, might be a little smarter than you. So even if he's giving you advice, he's giving you human advice, he's not giving you godly advice. That's why we want to have a shofet. The shofet is speaking the word of God. He's giving you godly advice, which is infinitely higher than you. So the good of it is an infinite goodness. But on the other hand, that itself is a chisaron, because it can be a little detached. So even if we might listen, but we're not really listening with every fiber of our being. We're not doing it because we don't really connect to it. Okay, that's the summary of where we were holding. And we're holding over here then in the middle of Sif Hey, and I'm continuing inside. Ubesignan achar, in other words, it's a shofet. This is the in Perek Hey, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th paragraph in Perek Hey. Ubesignan achar, in other words, it's a shofet by the shofet imtzas bad gasha beikr mitzias shofet. By the shofet, what is mainly emphasized, beikr, is the existence of the shofet, of the judge. Ve'etzel yoyetz, but by the advisor, nimtzas b'had gasha beikr mitzias makabala etza. The counselor, the advisor, the yoetz, he's thinking primarily about you. He wants it that you should feel that this should be accepted by you. He's considered with you. He is considering your kalim. The shofet is not considering your kalim. Like it or not, this is the godly way of living. Now, both these things are necessary. Generally, in Chassidus, we always learn there has to be the inyan of Momaylo Lamata, and there has to be the inyan of Momata Lamaylo. There has to be avodah sa'ada b'koyach atzmai. You need to do the avodah from within yourself. You have to use your own seichel, especially in Chabad Chassidic emphasizes so much that we should get involved, our own intellect, our own understanding, our own appreciation. So that the Yiddishkeit that we're doing should be ours. It should be something that we appreciate. It's the Yisroel coming from below. But on the other hand, if we're only working within our own koiches, so even though we identify, we appreciate it, and it's very much us, we're very connected to what we're doing, but we're very limited because our entire scope of who we are is limited. We're finite little, puny little, weensy-peensy little people existing within a tiny sliver of time and space. That's who we are. Okay, we have a neshama, fine. But be'etzem, we're small little, but then we have connected, we have this assistance from above. So in our case, for instance, Chassidim, we have a Rebbe. So for instance, a Shliach. The Rebbe always says a Shliach needs to use, a Shliach is, he has to use his 10 koiches hanefesh. He has to use his own moichen, because you want it to be not just a robot, someone who's listening. You want it to be something that is far more related to each and every one of us, to who we are and what we are. But on the other hand, we know that if we would be doing shlichus just from within ourselves, then how much koyach would we have? What would we accomplish already? We know that the accomplishment of all of our shlichus is because we have the koyach HaMeshalech, we have a koyach from a Rebbe, so we have a koyach of Bli Gvul, we have a koyach of Ein Sof. So that's why we need his koyach as well. As he says, Vasiyel Malmayli, you have to have help from above, and everything he does, he has a help from the Eibishter, but on the other hand, can't wait just for help for the Eibishter. It has to be stimulated, you have to be involved, so it should be far more pneumiistic. And this is also more specifically Yoiser, similar to that, when the Eibishter helps us himself, we have these two inyanim. In other words, in the godly help, see, the first thing is we have our work and we have the Eibishter helping us. That's number one. Number two, we can find these two inyanim in the Eibishter's help himself. Sometimes the Eibishter helps us in a way of sending us someone who will inspire us and make us think and appreciate and understand. The Eibishter sends us a good chavrusa. The Eibishter sends us a good friend. The Eibishter sends you a smart person in your life. That's called more like mamala kal alman. The Eibishter is being mizgalel to you in accordance to your capacity. Sometimes the Eibishter gives you a miracle. The Eibishter blasts you with some great light from above. It's much bigger than you, and it gives you a tremendous push that you need in the right direction. It's more like what we usually call seviv kal alman, an empowerment from a much higher place. So he says, a certain assistance that is relative to us and it being clothed in us in a pneumistic way. Sometimes you have an assistance from a level that's shaloi be'erech, that's way above you. Now, in this help that we receive from the Eibishter, we have help from the Bnei Yisroel itself. In other words, the higher levels of the Jewish people help the lower dimension of the Jewish people. It's similar to the idea of a Sarusa D'Liela, but it's coming from within the Jewish people themselves. That means the leaders are helping the regular people. And how are they helping them? In these two ways. You have a Shofet and you have a Yoyetz. Sheftayach is one level, Shen Yanam Hu Torah. They give you Dvar Hashem. From them you will hear the right thing, you'll hear the full truth. They're giving you a help that is completely beyond your capacity. The Yoyetzayach, Messiam loy, and the Yoyatzim, they help you in a manner that they can be enclosed, in a way that you sense that this is your own benefit, that this works for you, this is good for me in my life. And now we'll understand why. By the Shoftayach it says Kabarishayna, and Yoyetzayach it says Kivat Chila. Hachilik ben Rishayna Tchilahu. The difference between Rishayna and Tchila is Rishayna means at first, and Tchila means in the beginning. And the Rebbe learns that from Gemara that at first has a deep means more than first. Like first, you have 1, 2, the first one, then the second. But first actually means prior to. First doesn't mean part of, but it means prior to. Rishayn de Meikara Mashma. The Gemara says in Masechtas Pesachim. Over there it's speaking about the mitzvah of getting rid of chametz. So the pasuk says, Barishayn, on the first day, tashbisu sa'or, you should get rid of chametz. Now we can't mean that we should get rid of the chametz on the first day of Pesach, because the first day of Pesach you're not allowed to have chametz. But yet the pasuk uses the word barishayn. So the Gemara learns that the Gemara proves from different places that rishayn means before, not part of, not the first of. The idea of rishon can be before something started. Which is not the idea of tchila. Tchila is referring to something that already started. You're dealing with something that actually began. An example that Rabbi gives in the Ha'ar is also from Rosh. We call Rosh Hashanah, we don't call it Tchilas Hashanah, because Tchila would mean it's very much part of the year. Rosh Hashanah is like a day that transcends the year. It includes the entire year, but it's above it. That's why it's called Rosh, because it's like completely above the rest of the year. Tchilas Hashanah would mean it's a start. It's the first that's lending into the second. So now we'll understand the difference. How come by Shoftim and by Yoyatzim, by Shoftim it says Rishon, and by Yoyatzim it says Tchila. The Rebbe says it's not so much about what was in the past, but it's about the idea of Shoftim. Shoftim, they stand above us. That's why when you're hearing from a Shofet, it's still outside of you. The Shofet is dictating to you from above. The compliance, it hasn't really yet entered your world. You're hearing something from a higher, godlier world. Your own space, it hasn't yet began the process of you actually doing it, because it's still in a world above you. That's why it's called by Shoftim, you use the word kabarishayna. But the yoyetz, he's speaking already, it's already the ball is already in your own court. Because the yoyetz is entering into your world, trying to help you deal with this rule or with this law, and to make this a reality in your own life. So therefore it started already. The process of actualizing it began. It's the beginning of that process, but it began already. That's the difference. There's a main difference. Since regarding the shofet, what's emphasized is more the judge than the person, because he's not yet speaking to you. He's telling you just absolute objective truth. And he's commanding from above, where he's not taking so much into consideration your kelim. If the keli is ready, if the recipient is ready for it, that's why there is still an interruption in level, and therefore also in time, because it has to leave their higher realm, it has to still enter into your world, and every transitioning takes time. Between the issuing of the verdict or the decree of the shofet and the actualizing it through the listeners. Since after the psak din of the shofet, we still have to start something new. You still have to receive it, accept it, and start processing how you're going to do it. Like first, prior to, it's still higher and above you. They're still before. It's still on the level of Rishon. It's a notch over your head. Which isn't the case by the work of the Yoetz, the advisor, who he's already dealing, the Yoetz is already considering, he's already entering, his whole business is to be involved in your world, in your space. That means that the one who's listening is already a keli. The advice and the counsel is already given in a way that it's considering what you can do and how much you can accept, and so on and so forth. The very idea that the person is giving you an eitzah, Moira is already indicating you're beginning already to do it. It already started. You're already ready. You're already ready. That's why you're taking counsel. You're taking advice. You want to know how to implement it. It's only that he's helping you to reveal it. How you can do it and how it's good for you. How this is for your own benefit. Immediately to the giving of the advice, you can immediately start implementing. That's why it says like in the beginning. The yoyatzim, they're going to return. They're going to be like Batchila, Bedargas Tchila. They're going to be there as part of our processing. They are connected to the actual fulfillment of these eitzos in actuality. Now we'll also understand why it says Yeshiva Sheif Tayich Yoyatzayich, your yoyatzim. Because the whole idea of a yoyetz is he makes you feel comfortable with it. You feel that this is not an alien, strange, detached commandment that you're going to surrender to, you feel that this is your thing, that you can identify with it. So the yoyatzim is yoyetzayich. He's your yoyetz. Ha-yoyatzim shalach. These are your people. You feel connected to them. You feel so associated. So kiver shebe'etza mudgish is inyan shalach. This is your thing. But then the question is, okay, so it should say v'shiva shoftim, and then v'yoyatzayich, that the yoyatzim are yours. The shoftim are still above you because they're in a level of bari shaina. They're still a couple of notches above your head. They're talking down to you, meaning they're talking from a higher level. So they're not yours. That's why you need the yoyatzim. So the Rebbe says, no, the kavanah is that through the yoyatzim, you should be able to connect even to the shoftim. That the shofet too becomes yours through the yoyetz. That means you have, the yoyetz is giving you such a geschmack in the idea of what in all the teachings and all the dictates of the shofet, that you begin to feel that the shofet is also yours. Even though he's way above your head, but you're still calling him my shofet, almost like my king, my inyan, because you have a yoyetz who's always connecting it. That's the idea. Ya'asu gama shoftim shoftayich lo shenoichach. This will also become yours. The teachings or the guidance of the shoftim that are way above you, which should be accepted by you in an internalized way, like you're receiving the eitzos. And with this we can connect it, that even in our parsha, our parsha is not talking about the days of Mashiach. Our parsha is talking about the days when you still need shoitrim, you still need outside police officers, you need law enforcement to force a person. That shows how much distance there are between the right way of living and the way people who still have Yetzer Hara might want to live. And therefore, l'chora, the shoftim and the shoitrim, definitely you're not going to call them shoitrayich, your shoitrim, and since you don't have yoyatzim, so the shoftim will also always remain like with a certain coldness, with a certain distance. But still, so you don't have it in the pasuk. It doesn't say shoftayich. But on the other hand, in the pasuk it's also hinted to. Because the pasuk, ultimately, the objective of the pasuk, of the mitzvah, is that it should reach a point where it does become yours. And where do you see it in the parsha? It says, shoftim v'shoitrim titein lecha. Give them to yourselves. The word lecha is emphasizing taking it in b'pnimius. And the word b'chol she'arecha means to take it in even more b'pnimius. She'ara means that you're taking it into your gates. She'ar means a gate. And what's a gate? A gate is a passageway to enter into your territory, into your space, into your living space. The whole idea of a shar is to enter into your kitchen, to enter into your dining room, to enter into your home. So from these two words, lecha and shoirecha, we have the idea which is similar to shoftayach and yoyetzayach, which is the whole idea is that the Eibishter wants that his Yiddishkeit should be something that we appreciate, and it's not something that is enforced from above. Notwithstanding the mile of Kabbalah's oil, there also has to be a strong, the ultimate desire is the Eibishter wants a deep identification. Let's see how he says it over here. To enter the city. And the intention is when you need it, the shoftim that are on their own, in a way separated from you, that you're only surrendering yourself to them, you're accepting it in a manner of commandment, in a way of Kabbalah's oil, but eventually yiskablu eitzel b'nei Yisroel, they should be accepted by Yidden. V'yerdu, it should descend the lecha to you, and more than that, b'chol sharecha b'pnimius, in your sha'arim. But if shanasa aschol of the shar, it's already the beginning. It's your sha'arecha. It's already your space. V'yumtek al pi ha'pirush b'zeh, and this will be understood even better according to the pirush more. If we're taking the pirush out of just judges, and sha'arecha means the regular sha'arim, which means the gates of your cities, but we turn it more into the Chassidic pirush. That shoftim is referring to the shofet, which is your nefesh elikis, your godly soul, and sha'arecha means all the openings of the body, the eyes, the two eyes, the ears, and the mouth and the nose are the 7 openings that there are in a human being. And a Yid has to make sure that his nefesh elikis, his godly soul, is b'chol sha'arecha, is guarding, is the one that's controlling everything that enters and exits. But what do you see from here? The same idea is that we're dealing with what is entering into your space. That's what the Rebbe is saying. Sha'arecha kal share evrei adam, the limbs of a person. Einav, oznav, apo, yopiv, eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Shem shara psicha, beino yebein kol ha'sevev ha'efek. This is the gateway between you and everything that surrounds you. Ubachol sha'arecha tzirach liya shoftim titen lecha. You have to have the shoftim, not which shofet. Obviously, the shofet of the generation can't stand and watch you over your eyes and over your mouth. It means your own nefesh alikis. Shekol ever of a koichosav, all your everim and all your koiches, yenhagu al yedei ha'shoftim shebenafshay. The shofet of your own nefesh, hamoichen the nafshay alikis, the mochen of your nefesh alikis, the intellect of your nefesh alikis, which are the shoftim. She'itam uloyim Torah, with them you learn Torah. Dahainu. Shelimud HaTorah v'Eiros HaTorah Shaloi, the limud HaTorah that you learn should not remain detached as, okay, nice Torah that I'm learning, but it should actually come down and actually govern your life. Yanhigu v'yerdu v'yaslapshu u'ba'oifen detitain the chol ha'noisen ba'ayin yafa hu noisen. Meaning it's being done in a manner that it's titain, it's being given in a way that it's mamish being given in a big way. Because anybody that gives a gift gives it in a nice way, that's what it says. It should enter all your pnimius in a way that it permeates you completely. But in order to get to this, you need yoyatzim. The yoyatzim who take this higher power and bring it down to us that we should be able to live with it and appreciate it. Okay, we have to move a little faster. We really have to get to the main part that I wanted to get to today. After the coming of Mashiach, we will not need Shaitrim any law officers. Since at that time we're going to have Shoftim and Yoyatzim b'shleimus. Which means the laws of the Torah that are coming to us through the Shoftim, which on the one hand is an incredible nasinas koyach, because we're going to have the shoftim that were like living in the days of back then, but even greater, the shoftim that are going to be when Mashiach comes. So they're going to be giving us the pure word of the Eibishter, unadulterated, undiminished. But on the other hand, we're also going to have we're also going to have the advisors who are going to bring us the good advice, who bring these very high, lofty concepts and lofty ways of living into a pnimius in the person. And dafka through these two things, nasa Yehudi chader legamre b'Torah mitzvahs v'elakus, a Yid becomes completely permeated with Torah and mitzvahs and godliness. So a person doesn't need any more a shaiter. You don't need anybody to force you. You wouldn't even realize how much force we get from the fact that we live, shluchim are very unique in that. You're not in that environment, but we still have social pressures, we still have people looking, so these are all like, in a sense, it's law enforcement. It's not a police with a gun, but there are external factors that make sure that we do certain things, because we don't want to look bad in front of others, and so on and so forth. But to be able to fulfill all of Torah and mitzvahs, and all of Chassidish inyanim, and everything, without any external inyan, just mitzad you yourself. When Mashiach is going to come, we're going to have perfect sense of, on the one hand, teachings that are coming to us as absolute truths, but we're also going to be able to feel how every inyan relates to us, connects to us, and that is through the yoyatzim. Al yedei sheif tayach bolvad, the Rebbe says, if we only have a sheifet, hayras ha-Torah shehudi makabel b'kabolas oil, the fact that a Yid is makabel them with kabolas oil, b'derech tzivoy v'gezera, chasera avoida ha'pnimis, it's lacking. You're getting the highest of the high, but it's lacking the internal avodah. Something that permeates into your understanding, into your emotions, into your feelings. Which you need has to come dafka through the yoatzim. If you don't have the yoyetz, you still have a little space within you, in your own personal little heart of hearts, in only your own little space. It's possible that you're resisting. It's a possibility that you don't like it. You feel like this is being pushed upon you. You're being forced. But on the other hand, so therefore you need yoyatzim. But if you only have the yoyatz, someone who's giving you an eitzah toiva to you, chaser koyach haTorah. You're lacking in the koach of Torah. And the great help that you're getting from receiving a psaktin coming from a godly place, coming from the shofet. The godliness is lacking. You're hearing things that are little bite-sized pieces that relate to you, but you're not hearing the Dvar Hashem, the word of the Eibishter. Dafka when you have both these things together, nifal sha'adam atzmai, that the person himself, ba'oifin shalislapshus bepnimius mitzayusai, in a manner of it becomes mislabish, sheneskabel etzloi al yedei yoyatzayach, you are receiving it through the yoyatzim. Misnag al pi haras haTorah, you're conducting yourself according to the haras haTorah al yedei sheftayach, which you're getting through the shefet. She'oz ein yoiser makam vevsharis, there isn't any space within you, she'adam yistakik lekfiyah, that you'll need any kind of compulsion force, al yedei shoitrim, any kind of shoiter, lekayim esaros ha-shoitrim. And imagine all the Jewish people being in that state. That would be incredible, that all Jewish people live Torah and mitzvahs to the fullest. So we're starting Sivches. That we need to have the yoyatzim kebatchila, in order to make it pneumistic, that in the one who is listening, he should have an understanding and a feeling, an internal feeling, in Torah and mitzvahs and in Yiddishkeit, in a way that this becomes yours. Moving, it's understood. Here's where the Rebbe connects it to Mashiach. I'm saying to now. So the Rebbe says, since when Mashiach comes, we're going to have a restoration of Shoftim and Shoitrim and Yoyatzim, right? So based on that, and Be'ikr Mitzad, the idea of Yoyetz, which means that we have to be able to connect to it in a way that it's our Kalim can take it. We'll understand why this nevuah has to start before Mashiach comes. Why? Because if we would be, the shofar will blow, and we will be dropped into Mashiach's world, and suddenly we're going to have shoftim, and they're going to give us these incredible, godly, powerful, new insights, we won't be kalim. So even if we get gevaldigish yoyatzim immediately, who are standing over there trying to bring us, the gap would be so vast, and we wouldn't be able to bridge it. So we need to have already today the yoyatzim that are expanding us already, our kalim, working with us to make us already broader kalim, so that when Mashiach will come, we will be able to have the gilui alakus that's going to come when Mashiach comes through the shofet, through Melech HaMashiach, through the anyanim that are coming in a really, really powerful way. But we've already expanded our vessels through the yoyatzim. That's what he's saying. So it has to happen. Oid koydem agula, avoida lefi erkoi. There still has to be an avoida lefi erkoi. Tzad achar tzad. Step by step, darga achar darga, level after level, in order to make a person a keli, in order to receive the giluyim of Yemoisa Mashiach, since Hashiva Shiftayach Rishonim V'Yatzayach K'Vatchila is such an important prophecy, we have to be able to receive these shoftim. So therefore, we need to have already the yoyatzim to a certain degree. The noisam lazeh. Al-Piyah Yedua, another Inyan. There's another Inyan to this, the Rebbe says, very important and pivotal. And that is, since all the Giluyim in Yemoisa Mashiach is dependent on Maseinu V'Avodeseinu, and dependent on our work during the Zman of Golus, because Mashiach, nothing new happens. Mashiach is only a revelation of all that we've accomplished during Golus. So mitzad the fact that when Mashiach comes, we have to have this inyan of shoftim and yoyatzim, so we have to have a me'ain from that already now. So listen to this gevaldige inyan. Shetachlis Hashlem is Yemoisa Mashiach Toleb Amadeseinu V'Avadeseinu Kol Zman Meshach HaGolus. As the Alter Rebbe says, it's dependent on all the time of Golus. Ki agoyrim schar ha-mitzvah hi ha-mitzvah ba'atzma. The mitzvah itself, Mashiach is the reward, and the reward of the mitzvah comes from the mitzvah itself. And that's in the Zman of Golus. V'chol ha'amshachas m'mayla bo'as ba'ofen the midah keneged midah. And all the hamshachas come in a manner of midah keneged midah. Sha'avodasei shel Yehudi tzrich aliyas me'ein hamshacha shu mamshach al yedei avodah zu. And therefore, the avodah of a yid has to be similar to the avodah, to the hamshacha that he's being mamshach. so that we can become a keli for it. That's why the Eibishter made it that way, that we should have to do an avodah similar to the reward. Moving beniden the done, it's understood in our situation. In order that we should be able to receive the Shoftim and the Yitzayach when Mashiach comes, be a Moisa Mashiach, a Yid needs to have this idea in his avodah today, that our Yiddishkeit should be, that all of our Yiddishkeit and Torah mitzvahs should come to us in two directions. B'derech sheftayach, Kabbalah's oil b'kiyam ayros HaTorah. We're accepting Kabbalah's oil, u'b'derech yoyatzayach, and in a manner of a yoyatz. Shayros HaTorah yiskablu etzlei b'pnimius ke'etz HaTorah. That the ayros of Torah should be received by us as a b'pnimius. In other words, we have to have Kabbalah's oil, but we also have to be able to connect to everything in a pnimius to go away. The inyan zen nifal al yadesh shebnei Yisroel b'chol doir v'doir mitzaisim l'shoftim v'yoyatzim shel doiram. And this is, how do we do this? How do we have this avodah? So the Rebbe says it's fulfilled through this, that Jewish people throughout every generation, and particularly in the last generation, as we're going to see soon, listen to the shoftim and the yoyatzim of their generation. Kemavua b'poiskim. In all places, gam b'chutz la'eretz, also in chutz la'eretz, u'b'chol azmanim, and in all times, gam b'zman hazeh, also in our days. In other words, the Rebbe says that this mitzvah is not a mitzvah that was only for once, it's applicable throughout all the generations. It says you should come to the shofet and he will tell you the Dvar HaMishpat. He will tell you based on what you will do. You have to come to the shofet that's in your generation. It's like Shmuel in his generation and like Moshe in his generation. So you have to have a shofet today. But the pasuk only mentions a shofet. So the Rebbe says, where is the yoyatzim bizman hazeh? The shleimus of a shofet is in a manner where we're nehenen mimeno eitzei v'toshia. We should also benefit from him counsel and toshia, that he also gives you advice in your own life. Either you have one person, one shofet, one Rebbe, who's giving you both. By your fabrengen, he's giving you the larger idea. But by your private, in your private life, he's in Yechidus, you're getting, the Rebbe as more like a yoyetz. Or the Rebbe says it can be two different people. You have a shofet, but you also have yesh loy benifrad gam yoyetz. You also have a mashpia. Asay lecha rav, anoysim lecha eitzes be'irish hamayim v'avodas Hashem. Val yedei atzius, I'm finishing the last paragraph. Atzius l'sheftayach harav moira rosh aloi. When you listen to your teacher, hanoisim es piski adina v'ros ha'torah is giving you the psak halacha. And also through the yoyetz, so you become a keli pnimi. Okay, so this is the inyan in shaloi be'erech. So I realize when you're learning from inside, it's harder to get to the inyan that I wanted to get to today. So I'm just going to summarize. So the Rebbe says, therefore, to summarize everything we learned, that since, in order to fulfill Yiddishkeit in the ultimate way, the way the Eibishter wants us to fulfill Yiddishkeit, we have to connect to God on the one hand, but on the other hand, which means there can't be someone who is diminishing the word of the Eibishter, but on the other hand, we have to be able to receive it in a pneumistic way, and for that you need two forces amongst the Jewish people, a shofet and a yoyetz, and this is something that's going to be in its highest level when Mashiach will come, but until Mashiach will come, we have to start getting used to this idea by having shoftim and yoyatzim in our by us as well. In the next piece, in Perek Tes, and in Perek Yud, and Yud Aleph, the Rebbe is really where the juicy part of Parshas Shoftim Sicha comes in, and this is as follows. The Rebbe says that these two chilukim of Shofet and Yoyetz is also the difference between Torah and Nevuah. Torah is the word is the Eibishter's Chachma, even though it comes down to the world, but it's still the Eibishter's Chachma. So when we're learning Torah, we're getting a little peek into God's mind. But the Eibishter is not talking to us in Torah. Torah is not about us, it's about Him. Nevuah is all about us. The Eibishter communicates to us something about how we should live. So therefore, Nevuah is more Shayach to Shoftim. Sorry, to Yoyatzim. And therefore the Rebbe says that right before Mashiach comes, in order that we should be able to have Shoftim and Yoyatzim, the Eibishter brings Nevuah back to the Jewish people. And that Nevuah that the Eibishter brings back to the Jewish people comes right back, right before Mashiach comes. And the Rebbe is going to go on to explain how, based on the Rambam, that even though the Rambam says that Nevuah stopped, he never says Nevuah was interrupted. He says it just went away. Doesn't mean that it can't continue. And therefore the Rebbe goes on to say that we need to know that today's days, the Eibishter already brought us back a Navi. And he goes on to explain that Be'ikr, it started with Chassidus, that from the Baal Shem Tov and on, we have already the restoration of Nevuah coming to the world. But Be'ikr, the Rebbe says, it's in our generation in the Rebbe. It's amazing. And the Rebbe basically concludes and says, you should know that I'm a Navi. He says it in the very gentle way, but it's really an incredible sikha. But the Rebbe is saying, you should know that I'm a Navi, and we have to be mefarsim to the entire world, that there is a Navi amongst the Jewish people that came to prepare the world for Yemoisa Mashiach. It's a shame that I couldn't get to it in Parshas Shoftim, but we'll do it next week. Now here's my dilemma. I'm just going to give you a thing. I'm making, Baruch Hashem, a chasana. My daughter is getting married on Tuesday night in New York. So Wednesday night, there is going to be Sheva Brachas, but it's in New York time. So technically, I can wait up and do it 12 o'clock my time, which will be 9 o'clock the time, Los Angeles time. The other option is maybe to do it Wednesday earlier in the day, or the other option is to do it maybe Sunday night, this coming Sunday. I'm leaving only to New York Monday morning. So I would leave it up to you to make the thing next week. It's only for 1 week, only next week where I have this challenge. Everyone have a good week, and we should, as Hashem, already see the Navi Dairenu, and fully be his galus, and may we see the coming of Mashiach. It should be already this Shabbos. Before Shabbos, we should hear the voice of the Sheftayach and the Yoyetzayach, as we are so familiar with it. We should be able to hear it Begashmias again. Be well.